Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners. Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news from our city, state, and country. We take a look at what you're up to, your questions about Puerto Vallarta, your questions about Mexico, and we combine all this information and put it to good use as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta. And of course, it's always great to see you live. It's great to see your comments. It's great to see you wherever you are. And today, Thursday, February 6th, is no exception. We have some interesting news, nothing too major. Yesterday was a day of major news, and today is a day of curious news that include a follow-up on the teacher strike and knowledge of a city in Mexico where biting someone in the butt in public is apparently not a crime. I don't know what else to say. Well, we'll talk about it in a second. And I also finally, last week I hinted or mentioned that I had some news related to audiobooks, and I finally got around to finding a little space in our broadcast to talk about this, and we will do that today. So if you have been reluctant to enjoy audiobooks, you may find yet another reason to do so in today's broadcast. As usual, if you want to say something that you want a reaction on, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. If you are watching live for the first time, we love saying hello, so please add a capital letter N if you're watching live for the first time, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. I want to give you a little bit more background on what's going on with the teacher strike. At least 30 elementary schools in Puerto Vallarta have joined the strike of 18 teachers from the local union, for a total of 30 teachers in the entire region who have not received their paychecks since September due to an administrative failure and the lack of agreement between the state and the federation. In total, the strike is affecting nearly 9,000 students in Puerto Vallarta. That is a lot of students without school. Fernando Rodriguez, one of the affected teachers, who is also the representative of the local union, had traveled to Guadalajara last month to attempt to find a solution to the issue at the state's Ministry of Education, but did not get any answers. And that was almost a month ago. The teachers warned that if they do not find a solution, the strike will continue. And they will even seek the intervention of Governor Pablo Lemus, who is scheduled to visit the region today. So Pablo Lemus will be in Puerto Vallarta. I'm sure that other news will stem from that visit, and we will hopefully have a resolution to this problem to share with you tomorrow or sometime in the near future. And speaking of problems, Wednesday is a day in which cruise ships frequently dock here in Puerto Vallarta, and many passengers head to or are taken to places such as the municipal church, the Church of Guadalupe, and that general area, so they can buy trinkets and visit and whatnot. But apparently, alpaca vendors are getting busy, and perhaps too busy, with tourists. Apparently, so a group of 6 vendors have been reportedly harassing tourists and trying to persuade them to buy their bracelets. Alpaca is also called nickel silver in English, and it is not silver. Alpaca was developed in 1823 as a result of a German competition held with the goal of developing an alloy that had the most visual similarity to silver, and its trademark name, alpaca, became widely known in Northern Europe as a source of nickel silver. That's how we know it here. But the important thing is that it is not silver. It is sold as silver, but it does not have the markings that silver tends to have, or maybe it even has fake markings. What I'm getting at is if you wish to buy something, by all means, buy a jewelry piece, a bracelet, earrings, whatever you want from someone, but just purchase with the knowledge that if they say silver, it may or may not be silver, and it may or may not be priced accordingly. Alpaca is much less expensive, as I understand it, than actual pure silver or certified silver, which is what you can find in jewelry stores. So that's just a little bit of a warning in case you're out and about and somebody is trying to sell you something that is not really what they say it is. And speaking of things that are not what they say they are, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. This caught my attention, and it's just too weird. This woman who lives in the town of Celaya in the state of Guanajuato, where delicious cajeta is made, was bitten in the butt in public by this man who ran away. And when she went to the attorney's office to place a report or to report a crime or whatever, she's quoted as saying, "They told me that nothing could be done in that module, in that office, because there was no robbery, there was no rape, there was nothing. In other words, there was no crime as such, so they could not help her and they would not give her an answer." So, should you ever travel to a city where you all of a sudden feel inclined to bite somebody's butt, or if somebody bites yours, just know that you may find yourself in a city where it is not a crime to engage in butt biting in public. What can I tell you? I don't even know what to say, but I thought it was funny, and I thought you'd be at least amused by this knowledge. The weather. Let's see what's going on there. A king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun, so I guess I need to figure out how to stop the sun from setting. Oh, dear. Well, that's our snarky weather. It is 23 degrees out there. Humidity is at 64%. And our weather forecast says that today we're going to enjoy clear skies throughout the day with a high temperature of 27 and a low of 16 today. Tomorrow, Friday, we can expect clear skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 16. And then finally on Saturday, we are going to have clear skies throughout the day. We're going to have a high of 26 and a low of 15. And that is our weather report for today. I have this news to share with you. This photograph shows us the acclaimed artist Israel Cepeda, who exhibits his work at Galleria Dante. He's from Guadalajara, but he is going to have a special exhibition at Galleria Dante that is going to open tomorrow. I don't know if the artist will be there to greet visitors, but if he is, I know Israel. He is a fascinating man, and his output is amazing. And of course, this photograph came from Galleria Dante's newsletter, which I received, and I will share the link to their newsletter in case you want to receive news from the art gallery directly into your inbox. And moving right along, this is my last reminder of the fact that today is my music appreciation presentation. Bring a tissue. It's going to be sad, but it's going to be moving. And if you can handle sad and can handle moving, then this is a great presentation for you to consider. We're going to first discuss instrumental music that is truly sad. Then we'll add voice to the mix to see how the voice enhances a feeling. Then we will see how voice and music, or music alone, when complemented by a moving picture, as in a film, can amplify the feelings of sadness in a particular scene. So this will be an interesting exploration. And of course, as we announced yesterday, my dear friend and community partner Stan Wagner from Neurofeedback, from Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, is going to be offering neurofeedback. Neurofeedback. What is the word that I'm looking for? Not treatments, sessions. There you go. Neurofeedback sessions at the Joint Boutique Hotel today. If you want to sign up, I shared the link yesterday. I'm happy to share it again today, and hopefully I will see you this afternoon at my music appreciation presentation. And now I want to talk briefly about audiobooks. So this is right before we go into our chit-chat section. Let me start with this image. Don't worry, no spoilers. This is Silo, which is a great television show, which is currently playing on the Apple TV Plus network. There are 3 seasons at least, hopefully, because there are 3 books. The series is based on a trilogy. And I will not spoil you, don't worry. No spoilers here, but I will say that season 2 left us with an extraordinary cliffhanger. And of course, now we have to wait until next year for the rest of this to come back. And I didn't want to wait. So I figured, well, this is a good time to go take a look at the audiobook. Now, the first novel, the 3 novels are this is a novel trilogy by Hugh Howey, and the first novel is called Wool, not Silo. That's the name of the series, but it is essentially the series. And what I liked about the audiobook is, and what I want to direct your attention today to, is that this audiobook is read by Edoardo Ballerini. Now, Edoardo Ballerini is an actor, and a good actor, that happened to discover a second career that is just as lucrative as the first one, as a narrator. He reads audiobooks, and I have to tell you that he reads audiobooks like I've never heard anybody else read audiobooks. I have friends that think audiobooks are going to be monotone because sometimes the reader just reads, and if it involves dialogue between characters, the reader just keeps reading. Well, not Edoardo Ballerini. He finds a way to nuance his voice so that each character in a book gets its own voice out of his own instrument, out of his own throat. So it's amazing when he does this, because if there's a conversation going on in the audiobook, you can actually hear the different characters speaking. And I know nothing about how audiobooks are done. I don't know if in the recording studio he will say one phrase with one voice and then he'll stop to think, well, I have to switch voices, and then somebody splices this all together, or if he's just stream of consciousness switching from one voice to another as he goes. All I can say is that if you have been reluctant to consider audiobooks, don't be until you've had the experience of Edoardo Ballerini reading a book. He does great fiction. He also does a lot of self-help books. He has a web page on Facebook. Well, I'm sure he has a web page, but he has a page on Facebook where I follow him because sometimes he talks about other projects that he's doing. And that's all I have to say about this. Just look him up. This is my little unofficial love letter at the skill to tell a great story using audiobooks as a format. Of course, these books came from Audible, and I love my subscription to Audible. I totally recommend it if you haven't had one. And with that said, I think it's a good time to take a look at your comments. And let's see. I see good mornings, which I appreciate, from people that are near and people that are not so near. Barbara's watching from Conchas Chinas. It's great to see you, Barbara. And of course, our friend Christy is watching from San Mateo. I hope life is well over there. And let's see what else we have. Hello, Betsy. I know that you won't be able to attend today's presentation, but I know you'll be there in spirit. Thanks for letting me know. Was hoping to wear my Barry Sanders jersey. Instead, I am sporting my birth city's Eagles hat. 5 days of parties and a football game. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thank you for sharing. Boom, boom, boom. How do you expect the teachers to live? Ridiculous, poor students as well. Well, Laura, in all fairness, there's always two sides to this story. I don't know exactly what's going on. We have not heard from the state and federal government. We don't know if these teachers are at fault for one reason or another. But you are correct in thinking about the students. Ultimately, it is the students that are the most damaged here. Once again, I hope there is a resolution to the problem. What time Stan will be there this afternoon, asks Michael. I don't know, Michael, but we saw his website yesterday. Let me see. And I think I included it in the show notes. Let me see if I can call this up very quickly in my screen so that I can answer your question. Bam, ba-dum, bam, bam. Let us take a quick look. And let me put this on the screen. I'm being adventurous. I love it. Okay, so here are the dates. Schedule your appointment. And it doesn't say what time he's going to be there, but he's going to be there. My suggestion to you is to keep in mind the dates in which he's available at the joint and just contact him directly to find out what the schedule is like on any given day. And let's see what else we have. I'm sure everything will be wonderful this afternoon, even if there are sad songs. Well, I was telling a friend of mine, Laura, that I am keeping my expectations very low today because I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I wanted to go be entertained in this day and age, would I want to go to a show where all there's going to be, or a presentation where all there's going to be is sad music? And a part of me would want to, and a part of me wouldn't want to. So it's going to be kind of like a little experiment. If there are a lot of people that show up this afternoon, I will be very pleasantly surprised. If not, then it's okay. I will still feel grateful because I revisited these works of music. I actually discovered a couple in the process. And to me, that is ultimately the biggest reward. If I'm grateful, if I'm able to share my enthusiasm for the music with 1, 2, 3 people, or maybe more, then I am a happy person. So we'll see what happens. Somebody of my team. I am an avid audiobook user. I tune in while I am out walking and sometimes while I am making dinner. They are free from the Vancouver Public Library. I will check out your recommendation, says Barbara Salvage. Well, I'm glad you have access to free books. Just look for Edoardo Ballerini and check him out as a narrator. Maybe you'll like his style of narration. And I have to say, I've run into audiobooks that I really wanted to enjoy, but the narrator just didn't do it for me. And I suppose that's what happens, for example, when you go see a play that you're familiar with or you want to get familiar with, and the actors are simply not cutting it. Oh, fantastic. Stan is here and he says, I just sent you a message. So I hope that this message means that it went from Stan to Michael. I love the connection and I hope you guys are able to connect. I know that Michael won 2 tickets for my presentation today in yesterday's Spotlight, which was a lot of fun, by the way, a lot of interesting knowledge that we acquired. And I will be uploading it to YouTube and sharing the link with you shortly. And of course, all the Spotlight links are now available in the show notes on the sidebar as an icon where you can click and go to our Spotlight YouTube playlist. And I think that brings us to the end of today's presentation. As always, I'm grateful for your company. I'm grateful for your curiosity. And I'm grateful for the fact that you're here watching Coffee and Headlines Live. It is time to wrap it up. I'm going to go finish my presentation and package it beautifully for this afternoon. So have a great day. Maybe I'll see you this afternoon. And if not, I will definitely see you tomorrow morning. That's it. Oh, one final question. Is Amy Armstrong on today? I don't know, Paula. And I saw that you sent me a message about Amy because you want a ticket to her show. Your best bet is to contact the venue directly, Nacho Daddy. Yes, she has several Facebook pages. But again, if you get to the door at Nacho Daddy and you tell them, I want tickets, you should be okay. My only suggestion, because Amy tends to sell out, is that you let them know ahead of time so that they can accommodate the free ticket. With all that said, have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.